This is
Do not
dashboard.
release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog.
Oh, that's the
with his
K-9
hands
guy.
up. Do
Whoa!
not.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, G11, and today we got to cover something that might be a little bit distressing to you all, but I wanted to get ahead of it because it is just breaking, and I know it's going to be all over the algorithm for a bit. All right. So check it out. You got this situation in Ohio where there is a short clip that was released showing a K-9 being unleashed onto a black man. Of course, you know, that's what's capturing the headlines. But it got unleashed onto the man. He had his hands up and everything. Now, I will say, I think the clip in and of itself is kind of bad. But we're going to look at the article and then we're going to look at the clip, and I'll give my honest opinion on it. After a local cop went against a state trooper's orders not to release the K-9. So you have a situation with Jadarius Rose, 23 of Memphis, Tennessee. So he was the truck driver. He failed to stop his semi-trailer for a motor carrier enforcement inspector while driving with a missing mud flap on US 35 in Jackson County on July 4th. So the incident actually took place back on July 4th. He led troopers on a 25-minute chase through Chillicothe, driving erratically and narrowly avoiding spike sticks before a second set blew out his tires on Route 23 in Circleville, about 30 miles south of Columbus. Footage released Friday by the Ohio State Highway Police shows a state trooper yelling at Rose to approach him as a Circleville police German Shepherd is held back by its handler. Meanwhile, a Circleville cop appears to give a conflicting order. So the place where the chase ended was in Circleville, and you had a local officer saying the opposite. So you got some screenshots here of what actually went down. Again, we're going to watch the video in just a second. But he says, "Get on the ground or you're going to get bit," he yells. Rose complies by getting onto his knees and raising his hand, the video shows. A state trooper whose camera was recording the incident and repeatedly shouts at the local cops, "Do not release the dog with his hands up." And that seems like a fair assessment to me. I mean, he's kind of complying. I know when they typically say get down, they mean get all the way down, right? You need to get face flat on the ground. Now, granted, could they have been a little bit more clear with their instructions? We're going to find out. You know, if he's getting onto his knees and his hands are up, that seems pretty reasonable to not unleash the dog, okay? Continuing on through the article. The Circleville K-9 officer, identified as Ryan Speakman, releases the dog, which lunges toward Rose and bites him as he screams, "Get the fuck off me. Please, please get it off." A trooper shouts, "Get the dog off him." As troopers were attempting to gain compliance by providing verbal commands to the suspect, the Circleville Police Department deployed their K-9, which resulted in the suspect being bitten by the K-9, Ohio State Highway Patrol Sergeant Ryan Perperl told Cleveland 19 in a statement. Troopers provided first aid and waited for medical personnel to arrive, officials said. Rose was treated at Adena Regional Medical Center, where he told troopers he did nothing wrong and did not understand why he was being stopped, according to a case report cited by CNN. After being released from the hospital, Rose was charged with failure to comply, a fourth-degree felony, according to the Highway Patrol. He has since been released from the Ross County Jail. Performer said the case remains under investigation. The Circleville Police Department told WSYX that the city's use of force review board also is investigating the incident, which is standard in a situation like this, right? But did not say whether Speakman was placed on paid leave. So that is the K-9 officer who released the dog. The union representing Circleville cops is asking that everyone reserve judgment and decline further comment, the outlet reported. According to a police report cited, the driver told troopers he was delivering in Grove City, Ohio, and just wanted to make his delivery and get home, which I could totally understand that as a driver, right? You're on the road a long time. You want to just drop, make your drop and get home. And of course, NAACP Columbus Branch President Nana Watson condemned the caught on video incident, but they're probably not going to do anything. This type of barbaric behavior brought back horrible memories and images of the unleashing of dogs on civil rights activists that occurred in the South during the 1960s, Watson said in a statement to CNN. This conduct gives you a reason to pause as it's reflective of unjust and discriminatory treatment that occurred to blacks in Mississippi, Georgia, and Alabama that we wish not to revisit and or be reminded, she said. The Circleville Police Department deserves admonishment for this type of behavior. Quite frankly, the Columbus NAACP is ashamed of the officer's behavior. It's our hope that a thorough investigation is conducted and that justice is served up to and including disciplinary action / termination of the officer involved. So we've got the news article. We got a little bit of background story. Essentially what it sounds like based on the article, they were attempting to pull him over at some point for having a missing mud flap on his truck. Now, I don't know how much of a major offense that is, if it'll stop you from continuing your delivery, but it sounds like all he needed to do was just pull over, take a citation, and keep it moving. But based on this, it seems like he was continuing to run, because they said it was a 25-minute chase that he led them on. Anyways, let's get right to the video. I'm thinking it's censored, but just in case, they have their big old disclaimer right there. So without further ado, guys, let's get right to it.
I need an update for 1020 again.
Okay, this is
Do
dashboard.
not release the dog with his hands up. Do not release the dog.
Oh, that's the
With his
K-9
hands
guy.
up, don't-
Whoa.
Do not. Get the dog.
Okay, so hold on, let's back it up. So we have in this clip, I guess the suspect, it's hard to tell because he's standing behind the one guy. It does look like he's on his knees. Okay, you see the K-9. It ran over there. So you got him running up to the guy. I don't know if that's a common police tactic, if they want to use it to scare, the individual who's fleeing, right? I mean, you want to get them to comply, before using actual force on them, right, if you can. But it looks like he's running up to the dude.
With his hands up, don't.
Okay, the suspect's hands are dropped to his side briefly right there. But it's just briefly. I think he's like probably at this point panicking. Because he's on his knees. He's showing he's not a threat. Hands are going back up. He's like, what the fuck is about to happen? The handler is like, go get him.
Do not.
And he starts biting him.
Do not. Get the dog off of it.
Oh,
Get
fuck.
the dog off of it.
Get the dog! Watch the cab! Watch the cab! Don't get cab!
Oh, jeez.
Get the dog off.
Get your dog! Get it out!
Oh, my God. And I will say, those dogs, they are trained to bite down and not let go. If that shit's biting your arm straight up, it's going to hurt like a mother. Oh, shit. That's a lot of deputies out there, man. Holy crap. Do you see how many cars are there? You got one on the other side. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars out there. But I think this is after he led them on the chase. So, actually 7 cars out there, right? So I don't know, man. I need to actually see. I wonder if they had recorded the actual chase itself. But they said it was being reckless, man. I mean, I can see the deputies being agitated at that point, right? If someone has just led you on a chase, I get it. But holy crap, man. He was literally, I mean, this doesn't look good. And you see that gosh, she's like, oh fuck, man. She couldn't even see that. That's rough. Is it still? Oh, he got him off him. Well, there you have it, folks. That was the video. It's hard to make heads or tails of this situation, given that we're still missing context as to what led up to that point. However, from what I could tell, just from that short clip, it's not looking good for the Ohio police out there, man, in Circleville. I mean, you could clearly see dude is on his knees. It doesn't necessarily look like he's reaching. Maybe he's having a hard time trying to comply with what the officers are asking him because you got so many yelling at you, right? But it's a very high stress situation in that. And, oh, man, I don't want to just jump straight up to blaming the cops. However, that K-9 handler might have been a little bit jumpy. I'm just saying he actually could have fucked up here and have gotten a bad look for his police force. Needless to say, yeah, he fucked up. Again, I don't know what protocol is in these types of situations, but generally I'm thinking, when you have a K-9 unit out, it's to go after a suspect who is on the run, maybe hiding, right? Dogs have a great sense of smell and they can sniff out perps whenever they try to go into hiding. And, they'll bite them. They'll get them. You'll hear the guy scream. You'll go get him, whatever. But in this situation, you have a guy, he's out of the truck. He's no longer a threat. He's on his knees. And he's trying to, it looked like he's trying to comply, but he's not quite sure. Got to see more details. It's just really, really weird. And again, just from that clip that came out, it doesn't look good. Because again, you have the officer whose body camera watching, he's saying, do not do it while his hands are up. Don't do it. Because he knew what this was going to turn into, and that's exactly what's happening. So I don't know, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the situation. This is kind of bananas, in my opinion. Again, I do want to sit back before I cast full judgment on this situation and see what comes out after their investigation. But it's not looking great. All right, I'm just, that's right as it stands right now. It's not looking great. So, again, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that like button. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, I'm out of here. Peace.